Healthy question to ask every now and then is, am I correct? Am I right? Do the people I support deserve my support? And if I support person X, does that mean that morally I'm questionable by my own standards? Now, this actually leads me on to a question that only Reform UK supporters can answer, but I don't think any of them will. And the question is fairly simple in principle. Are Reform UK supporters evil? For clarity, I'm not saying, are they bad people? Are some of them misunderstood? I'm saying, are they evil? After all, if you look at what Reform UK actually supports, it is difficult to paint a positive picture of your average Reform UK supporter if they do in fact know the party that they are supporting. Very recently, Reform UK have come out and said that they would get rid of PIP. Now, they have actually said that they would reform PIP, but PIP in itself is already incredibly difficult to get, and you have Reform sympathisers like Jeremy Kyle, a man whose lies pushed a man to take him off the board, saying that you could get PIP for tennis elbow. You can't get PIP for tennis elbow at all. It is incredibly difficult to get PIP, and once you've got it, that's not the end of the story. You are then constantly reassessed to see if you still need it. Anyone who's actually claiming PIP will tell you how difficult it is. Yet, for the last couple of days, my TikTok feed has been full of people who are trying to defend this indefensible policy, and I don't know why. Someone has even said that benefit fraud costs this country around £9 billion every single year, and that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Until you take into consideration that the actual percentage of fraud is less than 4%. And tax avoidance and tax evasion cost this country upwards of £120 billion every single year. These are practices that numerous members of Reform UK actually partake in, from Richard Tyson's shell companies to Nigel Farage getting paid his jibbibs paycheck into a private offshore company, both so that they can avoid paying tax. Reform UK's own Sarah Potchkins said that it drives her mad when she sees black and brown people on the TV. So there's no question that it is a racist party. And they'll use people like Yusuf as a token. As soon as they're done, then that's it. We have the case of Ben Habib to point to the attitude that Nigel Farage and Reform UK has to people of colour to prove this. In early April of 2026, so just this year, Nigel Farage sat in a room where they was discussing grooming gangs and grooming gang inquiries, and he told everyone in that room that he was the only person who was in talks about setting up an inquiry into grooming gangs. Yet he knew that Labour's own inquiry into grooming gangs would start on either the 21st or the 23rd. Yet he stood in front of all of those people and stated he was the only person in talks with the Speaker's office to get a grooming gang inquiry up and running. This isn't just a lie, this is also exploiting tragedy, which is not the only time he's done it. I'm not going to bring up the family because the family have asked for it not to be used for political means. But Nigel Farage was calling for cold, hard rage, and his sycophantic defenders were saying, well, actually, cold rage doesn't mean you go out and do the bad things. Okay, but he was saying very, very different things when we lost Sarah Everard, wasn't he? Richard Tice has attacked net zero. In fact, at every single opportunity, he seems to call it net stupid zero, which is odd considering that he himself has investments in green tech net zero projects. But also, net zero is a way of saving you money. One of the things that net zero is proper home installation, which a lot of homes in the United Kingdom don't have, meaning that people will freeze to death this winter. and yet he is attacking any and all measures around it. Reform UK's official policy for energy in the United Kingdom is to give it to the Russians. That's what Richard Tice said just last year. Doesn't make a lot of sense, really, does it? Whenever Reform MPs can actually be bothered to turn up to Parliament to vote, they consistently vote against the best interests of the people. They voted against workers' rights. There's only one reason why you would do that. They voted against protections for women and children. There's only one reason why you would do that. And so the question has to be asked for everyone who is supporting Reform UK, why? What is it about Reform UK that you like? I do a lot of these videos on TikTok, and what I get back more than anything else is immigration. And in reality, when people are talking about immigration, what they're actually talking about is asylum. But here's the crux of the matter. The Labour government have got asylum crossings down. Right, the small boat crossings have dropped under Labour. They spiked under the Conservatives because the Conservatives gave way to the sycophants and supporters of Reform UK and just stopped processing asylum claims, completely ignoring the international legal responsibility that we have. Reform UK have stated they want to drag us out of the European Court of Human Rights, but by their own admission, that would not prevent us, the ECHR is not preventing us from dealing with asylum seekers or from deporting foreign criminals. And in the God knows how many years that we've been a part of the ECHR, a founding member, I might add, as well, there's only been a handful of accounts where the ECHR has stopped us from being able to deport someone, and there's always extra circumstances that need to be taken into account. Are we punishing the child for the father's actions? Things along those lines. Are we sending someone back to home country for them to face the ending? Because as we have abolished the death penalty, it doesn't really matter who's holding the gun if we put them in line of the bullet. In reality, nobody thinks that they're evil. Nobody thinks that they're a bad person. But when you line everything up, Reform UK supporters, why do you support a party that is so blatantly anti-British and evil?
Sometimes chaos is all the body needs. Tear up the script, let the sirens sing. I'll drink till